Thank you for rejoining us. This is still the Punch Election Studio, where we'll be monitoring activities regarding the governorship election and state House of Assembly elections in 28 states across Nigeria. We began just some hours ago, where we take a lowdown of what it's looking like, what the complexion and the atmosphere of the election would be. And if you've been following on our social media handles as well as our website, you would have been very up to date with some of the activities in and around every nook and cranny of the country. And of course, we are back in the studio to put some more light on some of the things we have been able to see. It's already past 2 p.m. and according to the normal timetable, except that for some situations that they will still be voting by now, voting outrightly should have ended by now in some certain places in normal circumstances, but for exceptions, perhaps voting will still be on in certain places. So at the moment, I'm being joined by the editor interviews of the weekend titles of the Punch newspaper, Chukwudi Akasike, who will be giving us insights into some of the things that we've observed today. It's good to have you in the studio, sir.
Thank you very much.
All right, so let's get straight into some of the things that have been making the headlines all day long. People have voted. Voter apathy has been a song that has been common today. And of course, there's been some slight cases of election violence in some areas. It's been reported, and we've also seen the security agencies doing on top of the situation in certain cases. But then we will not talk about some of these things without talking about some of the things that has happened in the past. Just yesterday or thereabouts, the popular man MC Uluomo came up with a video. A video came out, it went viral, where he was talking to some non-indigenous who would not come out to vote, to just bother to stay in their house and all of that. Eventually, there was another video where he was making some kind of apologies and all of that. And as of today, the police in Lagos have said they might take it as a joke, but they are still investigating the utterances of such. And of course, you know how that kind of utterances the kind of bearing it can have on processes like this. What do you make of this entire thing?
I would say that it's shocking that in the 21st century that Nigerians can still be seeing this kind of or getting this kind of utterances from fellow Nigerians. And when you come out to threaten non-indigents, not to vote, it is something that is negative. It is against democracy. It's against the rights of the citizens, and it definitely will lead to voter apathy, which we are experiencing now, especially in Lagos. Why will somebody who openly belongs to a political party come out and say that people should not, if you know you vote for a particular party, other than another party, that you shouldn't come out to vote? That is an open threat, which the police should not take lightly.
But aside Lagos too, there are other instances. There are many other instances of voter apathy everywhere.
Generally, not only Lagos. Generally, even in Benue State, where what they call it, Boko.
Is that Boko?
Boko, where we learned that somebody was injured. It's something. It is a bad testimony for Nigeria's democracy. Ordinary Nigerian democracy should be improving. But what we have seen so far, we have not learned any lesson. We have not improved. We have not moved forward. Though some people will say we are moving forward, but from what we have seen, there is nothing we have learned.
Just 3 weeks ago, over 20 million votes in the last presidential election. Not the highest in terms of what we've seen in this country, but then if you look at the spread of those votes, it's perhaps the most competitive we've seen in this country since 1999. And but today, 3 weeks after that election, we see that the body language has changed a little bit. To me, from what I've observed in the past, so this seems to be like something it's becoming like a trend. After the presidential election that comes up next, people just tend to sit down in their homes. Is this connected to whatever played out 3 weeks ago, or is just the normal thing that we are used to?
You will say it is connected, seriously connected to what played out 3 weeks ago. Because, one, there was a kind of threat. There was violence. And You saw what happened to a lady in Lagos State who was attacked, on the face. And people, Nigerians are seeing that. And you had people's utterances before the election. That is enough to make people stay back and say, I will not come out to vote in order to save my life. Why will I go out and allow people to shoot me when I can stay in my home and be safe? So the voter apathy we are seeing now is as a result of threats not being managed by the police, not being managed by security agents.
Well, as it is, we hope they will be able to come up with something, because as of this afternoon, the police command here in Lagos have said they might just discard it as a joke, but then they will still look into it. So we will be expecting some updates as regards that. So at this point, we will be taking a short break to see the clip where MC Oluomo made that particular comment, and of course the other conversation that ensued between him and one other person that was involved in it. We will be right back to give you more updates on the election.
Please, if you don't want to wait for us, please sit down for sit down for thank you very much. Good afternoon, all my brothers, my sister. Orúkọ mi ni Alhaji Musila Akisoya. Meeting tí mo lọ ní àná bí sister mi ló ṣe jẹ́ Ìyá Ṣúkúdì. Òun lèmi ń bá wí nígbẹ̀yìn pé Ìyá Ṣúkúdì tó bá ti mọ̀ pé ó dìbò fún mi jókòó sílé nurse mo kàn rí lórí social media. Tá mi yí pé everything on sọ pé MC please I'm always on peace. Tẹ́ bá dẹ̀ wo Lagos State yìí, Lagos State peace wà ń bẹ̀. Wọ́n ẹ̀ tí máa fi sọ wípé okay má jáde láti wá dìbò. Okay, tó bá jáde wá dìbò, báwo la ṣe fẹ́ ní fóòtù tí APC wá ṣe máa ní fóòtù? Báwo ni Yíbò ṣe ní dìbò fún àwọn APC àbí Awúsá ṣe ní dìbò fún àwọn APC? APC is my party. Ẹ káàtì mi kú òun ọ̀rọ̀ tí ẹ̀ ń gbé káàkiri yẹn. Ẹni tí mo dẹ̀ ń bá wí níbẹ̀ ó wà meeting. Ètò náà kò ṣe lọ tètè lọ pé wá pé Ìyá Ṣúkúdì a ti sọ wípé mo ní pé kó má jáde ẹ ti understand sí.
At the VGC.
All right, thank you for staying with us. You're still welcome back. You're welcome back to the Punch Election Studios, where we are monitoring activities across 28 states as people go to vote for their gubernatorial candidate, as well as state House of Assembly representatives in this election. It's been 3 weeks since the presidential election, and of course, we will have more states before the end of the year, 3 more states before the end of the year who will also be going to vote. And as you know already, the political calendar in Nigeria is not the same again with the 36 states. That is why we're having 28 today, 3 more than other states. Because of litigations and all of that, they have been the calendar have been moved to different years. I'm still with Chukwudi Akasike, who will also still be talking about some of the issues we will be raising. The song has been voter apathy. Let's move away from threats or whatever it is. Attitude of Nigerians now towards electing their representatives. It's been nothing really to write home about, but then we also have situations that even threat or no threat, people were not even able to vote in certain instances across some polling units in the country today. So it speaks volume about the process that we have in terms of organizing election in our country.
The fact is that people are showing a kind of, they are not optimistic about the outcome of the election. they are not sure if their vote will count. And this is why some of them decided to stay back at home. They are seen today as a holiday. Definitely, ordinarily, they ought to have shown excitement. But like I said, they are not at home with what we call democracy in Nigeria today.
Well, maybe let's focus our attention on some of the comments that has been made today by some political leaders in the country. For instance, the Senate President Ahmed Lawan, the President of the Senate, who today boasted that APC will win in 28 states that the election will be holding. I mean, for all the competitiveness we've seen in recent days, how boastful can one be? How confident can you be to make this kind of statement while casting your vote?
If Lawan is boasting that APC will win in all the 28 states, is he saying this based on performance? Because when we look at performance, I don't think the ruling party has done well. The last time Jonathan tried to come for a second time, based on performance, Nigerians rejected him. So if Lawan is boasting that APC will win in the entire 28 states, I doubt it, and I believe that the APC performance should not give the party the entire 28 states.
Well, that takes me to the holistic assessment of what the 28 states are looking like. 11 governors seeking re-election, while we have others where new governors will be emerging. Let's take it from the closest to us here. Let's begin with Ogun State, where Governor Dapo Abiodun is seeking a second term in office with 12 other candidates, including the PDP's Ladebutu, who is no newcomer, and of course BC Otegbeye of the African Democratic Congress, and of course those are the major contenders, and there are 12 candidates vying for the seats in Ogun State, just as we also have in Oyo and even in Lagos State. In Oyo, we have Seyi Makinde seeking re-election, and of course there is Akinwale Tayo of the Labour Party, as well as Teslim Folarin of the APC. Makinde is of the PDP, like we all know, but then from the complexion of what we saw in the last presidential election, nobody seemed to know where Makinde was even standing up until election day. And today we have Makinde and others seeking re-election. So for 11 governors seeking re-election, what do you think their fate will be? Up to the north too, where we have the likes of Zulum, Fintiri, also looking for a way back into the government house. What do you think their fate is going to be at the end of today?
Their fate will depend on what they have put on the ground, how close they are to the electorate. In Borno State, I know that Zulum will likely come back. In Kano State, I am not sure of the APC candidate there. What's his name? Gawuna. I'm not sure of the APC candidate because we have a strong PDP candidate in Kano State and a very strong NNPP candidate. Yeah,
Kano, a new governor will be emerging in Kano. Abdullahi Umaru Ganduje has completed in step now. So,
course, yeah.
And talk about the NNPP thing in Kano. It's definitely a force to reckon with, isn't it?
Yes, it's a force to reckon with. Though the NNPP people are already crying foul that the closeness, a kind of visit from APC visited Buhari the last time, and the NNPP is not, comfortable with that. That they are saying is a plot to rig the election. But I don't believe that. If Ganduje has done well in Kano State, definitely APC will take it. But as it is, it will be tough. NNPP is likely to take it. And again, remember that the House of Representative seats, which 24 in number, and you notice that NNPP has already taken 17. So it's enough for the incumbent to be afraid. NNPP won 17 House of Representative seats in Kano State. That means something strange, something serious may happen in Kano State in the next 24 hours.
Well, so much work for incumbent governors to do, and so much work for outgoing governors who are trying to install successors, and so much work for others too who are trying to take power in their states. And as of now, like we said at the start of this session, voting should be over in some places, so we will be expecting that any moment from now we'll be getting results from different
Before
areas.
you continue, let me talk about Oyo State. Oyo State, you know, APC won
The presidential
the
election,
presidential
right?
election. And I believe that the kind of game Makinde played in Oyo State, I hope it will not boomerang, because we learned that there is a kind of negotiation that, okay, let APC take the presidency. When it comes to PDP, Makinde will take it. I hope it will not be boomerang, because that is a kind of game that the people of Oyo State may not be comfortable with.
So from Oyo to Lagos State now, the incumbent, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, after what we saw about 3 weeks ago, has upped the ante when it comes to campaigning and seeking for a second term in office. And on the other hand too, Gbadebo Rhodes-Vivo has been one candidate too that has had his name painted in the hands of so many people too who are vying from. And of course, we have the PDP's Olajide Adediran, who is also there. A 3-horse race for me. And maybe for the first time in many years, the incumbents in Lagos State are being given a run for their money.
See, what happened 3 weeks ago is enough for the incumbent governor to be jittery. But what I see there from my observation is that it was just the Obi factor that played out in Lagos State. But now, many people are not so keen like they were 3 weeks ago. Sanwo-Olu may win it. It may also go to LP, depending on the statement of mind of the people. But I believe that Sanwo-Olu may have an edge based on what is playing out now.
In what has played out in over 2 weeks now, we've heard not so much about the PDP's candidate in Lagos State. A lot of people have said that they've not really been playing the opposition game like they should, and if they have done, they perhaps will have taken the presidential election. Is it the same with what they are doing in Lagos?
From what I've seen, in Lagos State, Jandor started well in terms of campaign. But at a point, we noticed that the LP man, Vivo, started gaining momentum. But as it is now, Jandor may not be able to win it, because we can see the sign that the people are looking at between LP and APC. Maybe
this way, maybe that way too. Now let's take a look at the processes we've had today. You know, we know during elections, roads are closed, people are not supposed to travel, but we still have pockets of stories about people being stranded on the road. I wonder what they are doing. And even on waterways, from one of our reporters today, we saw that the naval officers also ensured that there was restricted movement on waterways. For goodness sake, it's an election day. People are supposed to abide by simple. So from your observation, even while coming to office, how did you see the situation of things?
I noticed some people, as I was coming to the office, I noticed some people still moving around. I even had to come and ask, my friend, where are you going? They couldn't give me any answer. Obviously, they were not going to vote. I noticed they were trekking. I even see some people, on Okada. I don't know why. The fact is that Nigerians it's very difficult for Nigerians to abide by simple rules. Nigerians have always find a way around, on how they can breach simple rules.
Were there still people playing football on the street when you were coming?
No, I didn't see that. I only saw policemen, checking those who are moving around the street.
Because as at the morning, and from some of the reports we've seen too, youths were just everywhere playing football at every space that they can just put their legs into. And that tells much about our attitude too, because aside from governorship elections today, there are elections into the State House of Assemblies as well. And I dare say people hardly know their representatives in House of Assemblies, and these are the issues, isn't it?
I know that Nigerians are not really keen on this election. What happened 3 weeks ago doused, in fact, the passion. Nigerians are no longer passionate about election. So far, that presidential and National Assembly elections were not well handled. So Nigerians have decided to leave everything. Many people are not voting, and you will see the few number of people, the few number of people that were announced.
Before 2023,
yeah.
You know, I'm very sure you've seen many elections in this country. But before 2023, the thing has been presidential and National Assembly elections, followed by governorship and state House of Assembly elections. This interest in about knowing your representatives, how has it been with Nigerians, especially when it comes to state, the local level, not the national level as it is? I'm very sure a lot of people don't even know the number of constituencies in their states. How has this interest been in the minds of Nigerians?
The fact is that people concentrate more on who will be their president and their governor. Nobody looks at the lawmakers, because in the past, the lawmakers have not really done much to improve the life of the people. So people are looking at the president, who will be their president and who will be their governor. Others are to them are non-existent.
Well, no matter how little, no matter how much it is, these are offices that will play key positions. I remember there was so much stories about a particular representative from Agege Otu, a Nollywood actor now, Desmond Elliott. People raised a lot of issues about what he's done and what he's done, if they are enough to earn him a second time. And it's interesting to see that for that particular constituency, it's the battle of Nollywood, because the candidate that is coming out is also is also a Nollywood actor. Yeah. So it's interesting to see that people are still questioning some of these little things that many people are not paying attention to.
The fact that Elliott, I believe Elliott...
or was it just Nollywood that made that particular constituency popular?
I don't think so. But the fact is that Elliott appears to be more politically conscious. And Uhuru is following suit. Uhuru is of the Johnsons. Elliott, we know him, is a popular Nollywood actor. But I think that what is happening now is interesting, since we have two actors there, popular actors. Anyone that carries the day, the fact is that the Nollywood person will still be there.
so it still looks like an office, a constituency for Nollywood. Well, I wonder how much change that will bring for the people of that constituency. And of course, it has little or nothing to do about the industry they are coming for. They are there for the people. And let's hope that the people will get a good representative from whoever emerged from that. At this point, I have to let you go. Mr. Chukwumakasiki, we understand there is a lot on your decks that you have to do today. And I must thank you very much for finding time to be with us in the election studio this afternoon.
Thank you very much, and I pray for Nigeria to get it right as far as democracy is concerned.
Well, at this point, so let's take a break now and see some of the videos from the field of some of the things that have happened at different places in the country, from people being stranded on the roads to people trying to cast their ballot at different polling units. And from there, we will be back to give you more updates about the 2023 gubernatorial and State House of Assembly elections.
My name is Francis Moses.
Okay, why are you stranded on the road here?
Because they blocked the road since 2 o'clock last night.
But are you aware of the decision of that don't be moving from 12 midnight?
12 midnight, no. I'm not here because I'm coming all the way from Kano. So when I get to Shagam, I was in Shagam around 1 p.m. I said, I'm going to Yorkshire. I'm going.
I really enjoyed this than the first session. Thank you.
when you said Cam 1, I was asking, I said, which Cam is Cam 1? You know, I
No, so Ele Gongo ni Cam 1 now. Ele ni Cam 1.
Yeah, okay.
Cam 1, 2, 3.
Oh, okay. So when you said I touched Cam 2,
Kilo shake Cam 1.
say I should close up.
Close
here.
up. Mo fẹ́ go gbé shot yẹn ní close up ni. Do you want to still come back to the studio?
Tí o bá sẹ́yìn lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ mi, ó máa le o.
Ó máa le o. We are done. It's a wrap. It's a wrap.
Àwọn Ṣẹ́gun wa mọ́ lónìí.
They come. Now the third stage of the day.
So when they come,
we go down.
Ṣẹ́gun will bring the fire to the wood.
I heard people complaining on the comment section.
About what? Jẹ́ kí n wò náà.
Ìgbà pé àwọn kan àwọn òun lè káwọn vote níbí kan náà.
And
Then wọ́n ní
if I want to go solo, ó kàn yẹ pé some of these comments are uncensored.
One doesn't know.
If you go about reading these things.
Thank you.